Hey everyone, I'm Daryl Gilbert with Daryl Gilbert Outdoors. This evening I'm out on Great Slave Lake at Frontier Fishing Lodge, the east arm of Great Slave Lake, and just doing some evening jigging for lake trout. We're just on a sand flat here connected to some deep water right on the transition right here, and using a 5-inch white tube jig rigged up a special way. I'll show you in a bit here how I rig them up. You know, just running a 7-foot medium heavy rod, 40-pound braid on it, 30-pound fluorocarbon leader down to a swivel, connect to the jig. Just working the bottom here, and sometimes, you know, working the water column if the fish are sitting up higher. Super effective way of fishing up here all through the year. A lot of people jig through the ice only, but in the summertime, you know, it's mid-August right now. Really effective way of fishing. A lot of fish to be caught. You can stay right on top of them. You can pile up some good numbers jigging. Just don't have to worry about boat control on a night like this where it's just completely flat out here. I want to show you a couple different techniques that we use out here all summer guiding that works awesome for us, and hopefully you can translate this back to your home waters and catch some more fish jigging. So this is one of the best methods of jigging here. I'm not sure who developed it, but it's a very streamlined way of doing this. You don't need a trailer hook for this setup. So what you're doing here, you can see this here. I've got a 3-ounce inline line weight connected with a split ring to a #1 treble barbless. And what I'm doing, I've got this oversized 5-inch tube jig. And basically we're just sliding that right onto this inline weight, pushing the top eyelet through and connecting it to your rod, and it's that simple. So instead of a horizontal presentation, we're actually getting a vertical presentation out of this bait, and a lot of the hookups are coming from underneath this bait anyway, so you're getting way more hookups. You don't need to add a trailer hook, and you have a treble hook here instead of a single. Very effective way of jigging. Try that out your next time you're out there, you know, ice fishing or even summer fishing. We'll show you here in a minute how effective this is here. So what I'm doing here, I'm dropping straight to the bottom. Once I hit bottom, I'm gonna reel it up a foot, and I'm keeping my rod tip just at the water surface there. And the reason behind that is gives me a lot of room to load up the rod and set the hook. You don't want to be jigging with your rod way up in the air. So what'll happen if you get a hit when you're up here, you don't have any leverage to set the hook. You'll see guys, I call it catching butterflies. You know, they're lifting the rod up really high, not being very effective with it. And there's a fish there. Look at that. That's only been on the bottom for about 10 seconds. It's as simple as that. But you want to keep that rod tip low. That way it gives you a lot of leverage. You've got all that room to connect to the fish here. That's just a little guy. There you go. It's a nice barbless hook release. There's another one. Oh, missed him. A lot of fish stacked here right now. Nice calm night, you know, no wind. Makes it easy to stay on the spot jigging. You don't need to use any back trolling or drift socks or anything, anchors. Just sit on your spot and jig. It's awesome. You can hear the seagulls out here. They're dive bombing around me here, chasing some bait. You know, the lake trout push the bait up to the surface, and the seagulls take advantage of it. They crash down, get themselves a meal. Lake trout are underneath, filling their bellies as well, and fishermen, we're all around them. It's a bad time to be a Cisco, bad lake, bad water to be one. Oh, you hit that on the drop. Did you see that? Leading that to the bottom, and that fish just hammered it. This one feels like it's got a little more weight. There he is. This water's so clear here, you can see almost 30 feet down in places. Oh, a nice little Great Slave Laker. Just a really small little guy. The average fish we catch out here is about 8 to 12 pounds. You know, these ones right now, obviously I want to school the smaller ones here, but still a lot of fun. So another technique here, what you can do, drop your line to the bottom. You have fish stacked up across the whole water column. Start on the bottom, you know, you're working the jig just above bottom, stirring up the dirt every time it goes down. You can, you're not connecting with anything on the bottom, and you're marking on your graph fish all the way up to the surface. You can jig up a foot, reel it up, you know, jig up a foot, reel it up, jig up, reel it up all the way to the surface, and that way you're covering from bottom to top, the whole water column. It's an effective way of fishing, produce a lot of fish if you're not connecting with them on the bottom. Then, you know, bring it up to the boat, drop it back to the bottom, continue. So back to that jigging technique, you know, you want that rod tip just at the water surface really. And what that allows you to do is just load that rod tip up just like that when that fish hits. Little guy, I can feel him head shaking like crazy here. Give him some time, you know, we're fishing 46 feet of water here, marking a bunch of fish. You can see that graph there, lots right on the bottom. You know, if you got a buddy in the boat doing this, you want to keep an eye on those fish coming up. You get a lot of fish following up doing this. It's just, you see a lot of big fish that way, and you want your buddy to have his rod ready with his jig, toss it out there, and just stay on them. This guy's fighting a little better fish than the other fish so far. Just an awesome night out here though, like not a breath of wind right now. You know, one of the hottest days of the year. You can rip around the lake without having a coat on, which is pretty rare up here. And just the scenery, I mean, you look around this place and it's beautiful country, you know. This guy's fighting like a freight train. Really hate to put these fish in a net. It just once they get in the net, they start rolling, and that's the end of it. They destroy your bait, or they destroy your net. There's a little guy. A little bit better. Still not quite what we're looking for. Fish jumping all around us. No boats, no crowds of people anywhere. Just myself, really got the whole place to myself right now, it looks like.